In our first Design by Collaboration video, we looked at how the idea for a mouse crafted for and with professional gamers came into being. And in this episode, we'll be taking it further, digging into the challenges and results that come from creating best-in-class peripherals for the most demanding users in the world. Chris Pate, Portfolio Manager of Gaming Gear at Logitech G, talks us through the next steps in the Pro Wireless journey.
Very early in the process, we bring to our offices pro players and we show them a number of different designs and get their feedback on what feels right, what doesn't feel right. Not everybody has the same opinion, but if you work with a large enough group of people, you can generally get a consensus as to what the right direction to go is.
Well, for me, having a great gaming mouse makes a huge difference. Especially, I'm very picky with the feel of the mouse and the feel of the wire and the tugging. As soon as I switched to wireless, that was just a whole new world. Everything was so seamless, and absence of wires make a huge difference for me. I had a big problem when I was playing competitive with tugging of the wire, not as much when I was playing at home, but constantly have to moving between the house and hotels and stage, and you have to change your setup at all times. But when you have a wireless mouse, it's just plug and play. You don't have to worry about playing at a different desk or a new monitor. It's so much easier for me as a pro. That's really the biggest thing for me is comfort and the ease of the touch and the speed, and I've been able to get everything.
So we go so far as to blindfold the players or put the product in a box so they can't see it. They can't be influenced by the material that we use or the color of the device. Even weird things like the way that it sounds when you move it or can influence people's perception of how the shape is, right? So we try to remove all the external factors and focus on the shape specifically while we're testing the shape.
I think the most noticeable thing about the prototypes was just that they were trying everything different. They were trying to make a new shape of mouse that you've never really seen before to see if that was what the professionals wanted and if that was kind of the new thing, and let them decide, not just bring out a bunch of these, I guess, regular mouse shapes. So I was able to try many kinds of mice that I've never held in my hand, and I thought that was really cool, and some of them were a little wild. It made it even more obvious why the one I chose was so much better than the others.
We created over a dozen different shapes, and we tested with over 50 pros from the very earliest concepts all the way up until we had working prototypes and then obviously the final product. So the pros were developed very deeply from a very early stage, and we value their feedback highly. The wonderful thing about having the experience that we do is that we're able to interpret feedback that's not only direct but indirect, and we have experts who are able to take the feedback that people give us, even if it's just a vague feeling, and turn that into an actionable piece of information, which then we can turn around into a new design and give it to the pro. Oh yeah, that's exactly what I wanted.
I don't know what specifically about the shape of the Pro Wireless that I liked. It's just as soon as I put my hand on it, like I said, it feels like a mouse that I've used before or a mouse that I've used actively, and it felt very comfortable right away. The feeling that I get when my gear just feels perfect is just that I have absolute focus on the game. There's no distraction, there's no, oh, this feels a little off or I need to adjust this. It's just, once it's right, it's right. I don't have to adjust anything, and I can just put my absolute focus on the game. I think the main thing people look for in a great gaming mouse is just the grip, the feel. A lot of people can feel it immediately when they put their hand on it. It's like, this is the mouse for me, this is not the mouse for me. And it's also one of the most important things for me. Of course, there's always the performance, how the click feels, how fast it is, just how it feels in your hand and with your fingers. I think that's probably the most important thing.
There's a real feeling of excitement with every new product when you first get a design that feels right and multiple people are telling you, oh yeah, this is the one, right? They put their hand on it and instantly, this is the one. And then to take that into a pre-production prototype and have something that works that you can hand to people and say, here's the thing that works, and they're even more excited than they were previously.
When I first saw the Pro Wireless, it just looks very smooth. It looks very professional, I think. It has a very nice look. When I put it in my hand, it almost felt like it was already a mouse that I had been using because it felt very comfortable right from the get-go. It wasn't that I had to get used to a certain thing. It just felt like it kind of fit in my hand right away. That's good enough to me. That's good enough to me. Yeah.
It's a really exciting feeling to be able to take something that existed as a concept and hand it to people and, have them say, wow, this is the best thing I've ever used. And with the Pro Wireless gaming mouse, we're seeing that more so than a lot of products that we've worked on previously. It's been a phenomenal development process.
Come back next week for the third and final episode in our Pro Wireless series. And please remember to subscribe to the channel for a unique look at the creative process behind your Logitech G gear.